Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Data Talks, Learning by Doing. We watch a real data scientist go through some exercises on pandas without sort of having seen them at all before. You sort of get to see what I think, sort of any mistakes that I might make, and any ways that I do it differently than the solutions would give. So today we're doing an exercise on grouping in pandas, in grouping, occupation, and Gwipsamora's pandas exercises GitHub repo. So let's jump right into it. So when I already opened up the notebook. I just wanted to make sure I didn't need to download new data, and the data is at an address, so we're good. So let's go ahead and get started. For the most part, this just basically means we import pandas. This is sort of the first step I've been doing for a lot of these exercises. And now we go ahead and get some data from the address. The nice part about this is, again, this address, it's just a URL. It's not COM-separated values, but it is just pipe-separated values. And the nice thing about it is that pandas read CSV. So pd.read_CSV will go ahead and read from a URL as well. So that's kind of cool. Let's read CSV. Let's grab the address, copy link address, throw it into the URL. There we go. Cool. And then we go ahead and let's just put this back over here. So let's read this URL, and remember we need to change the separator to this pipe thing here. So df equals sweet. Let's assign it to a variable called users. So users equals df, and then just let's print out this df. Okay. So again, this is sort of an occupation data set. It's got some zip codes, some ages, some genders, some occupations. Cool. Discover what is the mean age per occupation. So again, we are we're basically just doing group by activities. So it's going to be asking us some questions that will require us to use group by. I'm guessing. So in this case, we've got users we want to group by occupation. And then the syntax I always try to use for group by is this ag syntax. It's really great. I've done a video on the ag syntax as well. You can check it up here. It's in the opinionated guide for pandas. I would highly suggest it. It gives a nice sort of framework for going about doing these group by type questions. So we want age, and we want this to go to mean. So pretty simple. So each occupation, we can check out the mean age. Doctor seems to be retired seems to be the oldest. I guess student is probably the youngest, and student is the youngest. So okay, that makes sense. Discover the male ratio per occupation and sort it from most to least. Okay, so we've got this male, female. So I'm going to make a new column here because this will make it a lot easier for us. So users, I'm going to call it is male, and I'll go ahead and make this equal to users gender equals male. So this will be the first step, and we will use this to go ahead and figure out what the ratio is. So again, we want to group by. I'm just going to cheat up here. So we'll just grab this line, throw it down here. So users group by occupation. Okay, that's perfect. Now we want to go ahead and discover what the male ratio is, which will be is male, mean. And so this will be the ratio. So in this case, this will be, if it's very, very high, it means most people are male. If it's very, very low, it means most people are female. So this will be the gender ratio. Great. And then we want to sort it from the most to the least, the male ratio. Okay, so this means let's get the occupations that are most male on top. So sort values, and we will sort values by is male. And then we will do ascending equals, so ascending means it goes up, so it's false, it's descending. Okay, let's check this out. Oh my god. All of the doctors are male in this data set, which is crazy. Homemaker. Well, anyways, wow, that's really interesting. So this is almost so surprising to me that I want to actually check this out. Sorry. So let's go ahead and make sure we got something here. So let's go users occupation equals what is it, doctor? That's just crazy to me. This is a weird data set. Okay, yeah, okay, well, they're all male. It's a very small data set. Okay, for each occupation, calculate the minimum and maximum age. So that's, again, it's going to be pretty easy. So I'll just copy this here. And again, this is so great. So instead of is male, we want age. So using the ag syntax, again, we can just go ahead and pass in a list of things that we want. So we want the min and we want the max. So again, just super, oh, we don't want to call this the gender ratio. So super simple. So we've got the minimum, maximum age. Wow, some of these ages are, so 15 for entertainer. Very entertaining. For none, of course, 11 makes sense. Student, 7 years old, right? Okay, cool. This probably self-reported, it seems like. There doesn't seem to be a ton of order. So for each combination of occupation and gender, calculate the mean age. Great. So we want to group by. It's simple. We just group by two things. So occupation and gender. And we want to calculate the mean age. Very simple. So again, this kind of group by .ag syntax, it's super extensible. It's very easy to read. Okay, let's do that. So for each age and gender, yep, okay. It's interesting. Mean age is lower or mean age is higher. Mean age, there's nothing for the male or female doctors. Okay, so again, it's a pretty long one. For each occupation, present the percentage of women and men. For each occupation, present the percentage of women and men. So that's pretty simple. So this is for each occupation, mean, right? Exactly, this is what we want. And so this will be the gender ratio. And then we just take this gender ratio, and because it's going to look like this, and then we just multiply times 100 to go ahead and give it the percent, right? So pretty simple. So 100% and 90%. Okay, so that's basically my sort of the way that I would go about solving these exercises. Let's go ahead and check how much they match up with the solutions that were presented on this site. This can often be sort of interesting to see how two people have done it differently. Okay, cool. So they added an index column being the user ID. Totally cool. We didn't really use that. So again, they use sort of old school group by notation, which is not the ag stuff. So I would really suggest using the ag stuff. You can see it's even visually less appealing, just going ahead and using this dot stuff, because this actually gives you a series instead of a data frame. Oh, wow. Yeah, so they didn't apply. So again, I wouldn't do this specifically. Apply takes a really long time. The sort of equals male thing that I did would be a little bit faster. It's sort of it's a vectorized operation. Right. Occupation, right? And so notice what they did here as well. So occupation, so doctor 100. So they summed the number of the number of males in the occupation, and then they divide it by the value counts. So what is sum divided by value counts? Ultimately, if male is 1 and female is 0, that's the mean. So you don't need to do the sum divided by value counts. This mean is much simpler, straight to the point. Okay, so this is totally fine. I think you can sort of check out the solution that I presented is actually like, I think it's a little bit more elegant, but I totally get where they're coming from. So again, it's just this. It's very, very readable, which is the nice part. So it's 3 lines that are incredibly readable instead of this where you sort of need to have comments. Okay, great. So for each occupation, calculate the min and the max. Great, so they went ahead and they used the .ag. That's wonderful. I personally like to use the dictionary form of .ag because it's even more readable in my estimation. Okay, and then occupation gender, perfect. That looks great. For each occupation, present the percentage of men and women, right? Perfect. Percentage of men, women, and for each occupation, present the percentage of men and women. Oh, they want it for each one. Okay, well, I didn't necessarily do that. That's a very good point. So down here, I only went ahead and sort of presented the percentage of men. But you know what I would do is just make a separate column, which is just this minus 100. Okay, great. Thank you all for sort of joining me throughout this little exercise. If you guys liked it, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. If you learned something, comment, let me know. Otherwise, I'm really excited to continue to do more of these if you guys are excited to see them. Definitely subscribe to Data Talks, and I'll see you guys next time.